Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Rachel Williams begins now.
Good evening, everyone. A day of total fire ban has been implemented for much of the state tomorrow, with Tasmanian authorities warning of escalating fire conditions. Hot and windy weather is on the way, with fears that could further fuel blazes already burning and increase the threat of new ones.
Authorities not taking any chances on tomorrow's hot and windy conditions, issuing a total fire ban for all municipalities in the north and the south.
That means it's illegal to light a fire or cause a fire to be lit in the open.
There are 4 major fires burning in Tasmania right now. While they're being fought, there's the risk of flare-ups. One of particular concern, with dozens of crews tirelessly working on it, is the blaze at Fingal, which isn't yet contained. It was deliberately lit and now spans 8,000 hectares. The township of Fingal remains under threat. Confirmed today, the fire's destroyed someone's home and vehicle.
There is nothing more appalling than for a firefighter than an arsonist. It's dreadful, and it stretches our resources and it scares the community.
Even with the devastation that we're seeing in other states at the moment, particularly in New South Wales and Victoria, unfortunately there are still people out there who do deliberately light fires.
Meanwhile, this blaze at Glen Lusk on Hobart's outskirts has been contained, but has left a trail of smouldering ash in its wake. It came within metres of people's homes. It was sparked around 2:30 yesterday afternoon in tinder dry bushland. Deemed accidental, caused by hot coals from a firepot discarded in the bush. That blaze triggered a rapid and major response on the ground and in the air.
If we hadn't put that fire out yesterday, it'd be in Hobart tomorrow.
All Tasmanians are urged to heed warnings about tomorrow. In particular, those on the east coast, reminded to stay vigilant and alert to fire dangers.
It's really important that the community stays alert, particularly over the weekend, and they tune into their surroundings and understand what the fire conditions are.
The community relied upon as the eyes and ears of authorities.
What we're really interested in is reports of smoke or people lighting fires, and people, we ask that they report that using the 000 number immediately.
A reminder that our state's fire risk is again far from over. Louise Hedger, 7 Tasmania News.
Meanwhile, Tasmanian volunteer firefighters are now eligible for financial assistance from the Commonwealth Government if they are deployed for more than 10 days during this bushfire season. Volunteers can apply to receive $300 a day with a cap of $6,000.
It's really about not only recognising the extraordinary work that these most competent, dedicated people apply to keeping our communities safe, but that they do suffer some financial stress.
We hope that as many people as possible are able to benefit from this. As the Premier noted, the people who do volunteer don't do it for the money. They do it because they have a sense of obligation to protect their community.
The support applies for those who are self-employed or employed in small to medium businesses. An eagle-eyed employee in Tasmanian biosecurity has potentially stopped a multi-million-dollar headache from occurring. A tiny mark on a mango among 1,000 trays was enough to raise suspicions.
As fruit growers prepare for the pickings this season, a familiar foe has again tried jumping the state's borders.
What has happened here is that we have detected Queensland fruit fly larvae.
Carried in a single mango from Queensland among 1,000 trays. Biosecurity workers in Devonport noticed something foul with the fruit.
One of our officers in part of our routine inspection saw the sting on the piece of fruit and opened that piece of fruit to find larvae.
The malicious mango is now locked away at labs in Launceston. It's a busy time across the state with cherry season in full swing. Growers are breathing a sigh of relief after paying a heavy price from the 2018 incursion.
Potentially it's devastating for the industry. We saw that 2 years ago, but this is a situation that it was one scar mark on one piece of fruit, and the percentage chances of anything happening from that are very, very low.
Tasmania's fruit fly free status remains intact, but authorities say the system will never be foolproof.
The occasional larvae will find their way through these systems and processes no matter how good they are.
The remaining fruit from Queensland has been either recalled or destroyed. Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
Scamander residents are facing Stage 3 water restrictions for the next 3 months. Taswater says a dramatic drop in river flow has led to the unprecedented situation. Watering lawns or hosing down hard surfaces is no longer allowed. The authority is hoping to reduce non-essential consumption by 75%. For full details, visit the Taswater website. Back home now, and a sport dating back hundreds of years is expected to make its Tasmanian comeback during a tournament this weekend. Known as real tennis, the game is internationally recognised, with competitors travelling here from across the globe to play in the Governor's Cup.
Getting in some last-minute court time ahead of what's expected to be a tiring tournament. Tasmania's Kieran Booth is the real tennis world number 11 and the 4th seed for the Governor's Cup, to be held in Hobart this weekend.
It is a prestigious event. You look at the names that have won the trophy before, and they're all top-level players that have gone on to either win World Championships or win major opens.
For the unfamiliar, the game dates back to 12th century France, and experts say modern lawn tennis derived from the game in the 1800s. It also has a more complex set of rules, including different line markings and weighted equipment.
Quite often people say it's a bit like a game of chess on speed, because you have to be thinking while the ball's still in play, and that adds that extra dimension as opposed to the lawn tennis.
The Governor's Cup tournament was last held in 1999, with this year's event serving as a warm-up for participants ahead of the Real Tennis Australian Open next week.
The players sort of come from local Australian clubs, Britain, America, and so forth, so it should be some really, really good tennis.
It's hoped by holding events such as the Governor's Cup here in Hobart, it will help to attract young, fresh faces to play the sport.
I think it's just something that people can enjoy, whether they're young, old, played racket sport before or haven't played a racket sport before.
Matches will be held over the weekend at the Hobart Real Tennis Club, with the final on Sunday at 2 p.m. Ebony Ablett, 7 Tasmania News.
A 17-year-old youth has been hospitalised after allegedly being stabbed in the face and hand by an 18-year-old man. Tasmania Police says the incident occurred at a home off Georgetown Road in Newnham at around 7 o'clock last night. The youth is currently in a stable condition in the Launceston General Hospital and is undergoing treatment for his injuries. The 18-year-old faced court today after being charged with wounding. Police say both males are known to each other.
We're only minutes away from tonight's Big Bash match at Blunston Arena. The Hobart Hurricanes top order will be looking to fire against the Brisbane Heat, which boasts one of the game's biggest hitters in Chris Lynn. The Heat is coming off a bad loss to the Perth Scorchers, but the Canes are expecting a much bigger fight.
They're star-studded. They've got a very strong batting lineup. We've got some good plans against all of the opposition, so we're expecting a very tight tussle tonight.
If you can't make it to Blunston Arena, all the action is live and free on 7 Tasmania right after the news.
Good evening. Close to average temperatures today. Cressy and Launceston our top with 26. Hobart, Burnie and Devonport all on 20. St Helens and Campania 24 degrees. King Island, Friendly Beaches and Lyawini 23. Strawn 22. Flinders Island 21 and Lowhead 18. Looking at the skies, and high cloud today increased from the west as it moved across the west and southwest of Tasmania. And that cloud to our west links to more over the Bight and back over Western Australia. A cold pool of air is to the south following a cold front, and low pressure troughs produce cloud over central and northern Australia. Tomorrow the cold front crosses Tasmania with a high pressure system trailing, troughs over the mainland. Winds 15 to 25 knot northwest northeasterlies will turn west-southwesterly at 20 to 30 knots, but even up to 30 to 40 knots over the lower east and south. Swells at 5 metres in western and southern waters. A gale warning in that area for waters between Wineglass Bay and Low Rocky Point. A strong wind warning for remaining coastal waters. Also, with a very high fire danger for all districts apart from the west and King Island, we have a fire weather warning for the east coast, northeast and Furneaux Islands. So into tomorrow we go. Hot, becoming windy in Hobart. 30 tomorrow, 28 for Maydena, a shower or two, a hot day for Oatlands and 31. Launceston expecting 31 as well, a hot partly cloudy day, 27 for Devonport, becoming windy for Lyawini, 24 the high. Burnie, a top of 26, 25 for Strawn with a shower or two, windy for Marrawar and 20, and very warm over the east coast and fairly blowy too. Hot for St Helens, 33, 34 for Swansea and Orford, 31 degrees. UV at very high to extreme levels tomorrow. On Sunday, partly cloudy over the south and east with mostly sunny weather for the north, fine apart from a possible light shower over the Furneaux Islands on Monday, and on Tuesday a slight possibility of a light shower over the northeast, mainly fine and partly cloudy for the rest of the state. Sunny in Perth tomorrow, a big drop in temperatures along with a shower in Adelaide, 24 there tomorrow. Sunny but hazy over Melbourne, 42 in Canberra. Sydney warm and becoming windy, a sunny 32 in Brisbane. And here are the current conditions, cloudy over most of the state. The other forecast, Rachel, is the hurricanes are about to blow away the heat.
Let's hope so. Thanks for that, Murph. Well, that's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Good night.